everyone, welcome back to my Beach Angel Tarot Shop. I'm here to do my weekly reading for love, romance, and partnership for the week of September 11th through the 17th. This is the full moon as well on the 16th, so let's dive in and see what Spirit has. I'm going to get an opening energy from the Energy Oracle, and we're going to be doing the reading my Angel 5 card placement with the Clover Tarot and the Colette Baron reads with Wisdom of the Oracle. So let's dive in and see what comes up for this week ahead. Focusing on everyone in the law of attraction. Oh, there it is doing what it does. I like how it does that. So let's see what comes up for everyone. And we have the thinking woman. So we have, this is about, for those that are in spiritual relationships, this is the divine feminine energies, but we're seeing the thinking woman. So we see a lot of transformation. I feel that maybe in this upcoming week or around the full moon time, you're going to gain some knowledge that is going to transform how you're thinking about a situation. And 4 is about stability, 7 is about spirituality. So I feel that it could be a message from Spirit, but I do feel that you're going to learn something. It's going to bring in more stability. And in combination, this is number 11, which goes back to 2. So this is about partnership. So it's definitely in alignment with the energies we're looking at for love. And for some, it can also indicate, even though we're looking at love, it can indicate, we are at back to school time, starting into college and education. So it can also be that you're applying a lot of time to learning or to getting a degree. For some, you can see she's holding a scroll here, and that maybe your love life is kind of taking a back burner to the things that you're doing for your own personal development as well, or putting that time into your own personal development is transforming some things for you energetically. So let's see what comes up from the combination of these two for love. So I'm focusing on this week, asking Spirit to come forward. Always working, of course, with Archangel Michael and the law of attraction. And when I cut, I got the full moon and the 3 of Wands. So I do feel right at full moon, you're going to overcome an obstacle. You're going to see something. This full moon is going to shed some light and some clarity on a situation. Okay, so you're going to overcome an obstacle at that time. Okay, you're saying no, so let's see. Focusing on September 11th through the 17th, which is entering our full moon in September. I do believe it's harvest moon. And I think we're coming in eclipse as well. So I'm kind of behind on my astrology. We're in retrograde, I know that. So a lot of energies around. So the first one is what the angels want you to know that's most important about your love life this week, something they want to bring to your attention. And we have Temperance, which is a beautiful card of healing, bringing balance and moderation. And I see divine timing. We see the hourglass, which represents time, and to me, divine timing. So as time is going on or going forward, if you're losing patience, they want you to know that everything is in divine timing. So everything is in the right energy. It's in the moderated healing stages that you need it to be in. Could be in regards to emotion, because she's blending the water element here from one cup to the other, and just having everything in the right mix or the right blend. But there is an angel. There's a lot of angelic help in regards to the relationship. You can see these two here on either side, maybe kind of at odds. But there is definitely a huge angelic presence involved in regards to your love life this week. And we have all that glitters. Now all that glitters indicates, something that can, a mask. So there's healing going on with people wearing masks in relationships, maybe presenting something that they're not, or making things appear something that they are not, which everybody puts their best face forward, right? And sometimes when you see behind that mask, it can be rather, a little bit upsetting, a little bit scary. But there's healing going on in regards to the masks that we wear in relationships and the things that we kind of present. So I definitely feel, and I see, again, this is number 16. So this is a 7. This is a spiritual vibration as well. So there's a lot of angelic help going on with covering things up, trying to make yourself appear one way when maybe there's something else going on that you don't want somebody to know. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like, I don't want anybody to think this is sort of like being betrayed on purpose. This is what I'm talking about here is, like if you have things going on in your life and you don't want the other person involved for their own sake, for their own sake, you kind of portray, a different persona because you don't want them to know what you're definitely going through or what's deeply affecting you, what needs healed in your life, what you turn to the angels for to help you. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, massive deception or somebody lying to you or that kind of thing. It's what we do to protect other people from having to endure the things that we're going through. And that's where divine timing goes into play. So do keep that in mind. If you feel like, somebody's not letting you in or they're not letting you below the surface of their lives, there's a reason for it, and it's because of that. It's because divine timing is in place. These things in their lives need healed, and you're not meant to be a part of that. Or maybe this is something to do with their ancestral karmic line or something that they're definitely going through that's deep, and they can also sense that you're not meant at this time to be a part of that. So this is something that the angels are trying to bring to light to you, to maybe see in a different way, okay? So they're trying to heal that and to help you see exactly what's going on with that other person and why this has been occurring. So this is something this next one is something they can see high above that you can't see down here, or you're not seeing it the way they're seeing it from their perspective. And it is a 2 of Swords. So they're seeing that there is some stagnation. We're definitely seeing 2 people connected, but they're not facing each other. So there's a connection here in your love life, but you're not seeing eye to eye, or you're not actually kind of like this. You're not seeing exactly what's happening. You're not seeing why, but you're still connected. So you can feel that connection. That person has your back ultimately, but you're both facing the things that you need to face at this time, but you're still very much on the same platform. You're very still much in the same energies, but it's just that you're both facing, mentally, you're both facing some obstacles, okay? Because this is ultimately about stagnation, but you're definitely chained and bound together energetically, but going in 2 different directions and facing 2 different things, and you don't see what the other person is seeing or dealing with, and they don't see what you're dealing with, but you can sense each other. You still know that energetically you have each other's back. So I love how that is. So you're not perceiving it right, okay, is what they're saying. And we have the tribe. So this is going along as a combination. The tribe is all about, people of like mind, family, soul family connections. I see the parrot there in the background kind of taking my eye. So this is about communication as well. So there's something that you're not seeing is maybe why you're not communicating right, or maybe something to do with, feeling like you're not part of that connection. There's birds in this card too, so this is about communication again. So something to do with communication or communicating about your connection. But the tribe is all about family, soul family connections, like-minded, and reaching out and helping. So there could be something going on with reaching out to help or reaching out to connect coming up here. You see 8. 8 is an infinite connection, and it's also a number of abundance too. So the next one is something to do for yourself this week, and it is the 8 of Swords. So we have another 8. So this is breaking out of old paradigms, breaking out of old ways of thinking, releasing yourself from stagnation. The 2 of Swords was a bit of that stagnation in regards to the partnership. This is a bit of stagnation involved. You can see this woman. It could be the divine feminine here again, really needing to break out of a thought pattern or break out of old energies or old ways of thinking is one of the things to do to help yourself this week. And it is fork in the road. So it's about making a decision, making a choice this week to release the past. And you can see she's kind of cracking out of that darker shell and releasing that, letting something die behind her. So this is about making that decision, coming to a fork in the road, deciding to leave the old ways of thought behind is going to be important this week in helping the angels help you. This is a secret you do not know, a good secret you do not know, and this is the 4 of Swords. And there's that hourglass again behind them. And the secret you do not know is that there's a lot of healing, sort of like the angel of healing and moderation and bringing balance. There is a lot of healing going on, a lot of rest and recuperation happening. And again, divine timing is coming up. This can be the energies of a truce or, taking a break from a situation as well. But to me, it represents, in this spread especially, represents a lot of healing happening. And we have the thinker, which is interesting because we started with the thinking woman. So this can be in regards to the divine feminine, healing old past patterns, coming to a decision, making a choice. And here's the owl on this back of this card, and this all represents the wisdom that we felt that would be coming in with her holding this book. So there's something coming, and the owls are associated with the full moon. So something's coming around the full moon time that's going to allow you to make a choice to let go of a past pattern way of thinking. I feel it has something more to do with the feminine, actually, than the masculine and the spiritual relationships, if you find yourself in one. I don't gear my readings or list them as twin flamed readings because I feel if you're guided to this reading, you're going to get the message that you need. But I do see a lot of the female energies coming up here in regards, and this in here is even that. So there's going to be a healing and a way of thinking of a past pattern, a past paradigm of ways of being stuck in thought patterns is going to shift. And this full moon is going to shed some light. It's going to bring you an awareness of maybe what your partner's been going through and why they've been, maybe hiding behind a mask of one way of being to protect you from something that they're enduring that you were really not meant to be a part of. There's no way that you could possibly help them because it's meant for them to turn to spirit, for them to connect to their angelic team themselves, for them to awaken, and for that to be healed through themselves and their spiritual team. Okay, so you're going to see things in a different, and they're also saying this also comes up. This is for 444 is in this combination, and this was a secret you do not know. So we have 444, and this card also adds to 8, which then gives us, there was 3 8s in this reading too, I believe, because this was 8, and then this combination comes up to 8, but this is 444s. So there's 888s and 444s in numbers in this reading for signs for some. And then we still have one more placement coming up here. So what is coming soon? And it is 2 of Cups. I love how Spirit does it. So for some, this is going to be a union, a reconnection. For some, this is just going to be an emotional rebalance. Maybe when you let go of an old way of thinking or you see something differently in regards to your partnership, you're going to be able to be more emotionally balanced within self. So for some, this is going to be a physical coming together. For some, this is going to be an emotional rebalance for themselves. And the next one is a leg up, which is number 7 in combination with the 34. So this is a spiritual lift. You're going to be spiritually elevated. You see the mama bear here, so a lot of protection to the divine feminine, and from, could be Mother Mary's energies, or definitely those very beautiful divine feminine energies of spiritual, elevation, awakening, and help and support. So you're going to be, and for some, again, this is just, maybe your partner returns or comes back, or you have an emotional conversation and you feel more supported, you feel more emotional support, which brings balance. It can be, for everyone, it's going to come a little differently. For some, this is you're going to feel and notice that Spirit is there to help you and to give you a leg up and to lift you and bring more emotional balance to you. So this is a spiritual help, a spiritual rebalance. And so this is a lot of thinking of the mental and a lot of healing of mental thought patterns and the ways of thinking, old ways of thinking that have kept, I feel it's a lot for the divine feminine, doesn't necessarily mean that, but there's been old ways of thinking that you need to decide to let go, and I feel that the full moon is going to shed light on that, kind of working backward through the spread. And they're definitely showing you that you are still energetically connected, and this is the whys of what is happening and the healing that is going on, and why things have been presented to you the way they have been in a manner that has kept you protected, from what the other person is kind of going through or enduring. So you're going to, ultimately, back where we started, you're going to get that information that's going to transform a way that you're thinking. I feel mostly a lot for the divine feminine. So like I said, this will come to everybody in a little bit of a different way, but that's what I'm getting. I'm going to pull one from here as well. I'm being guided just to end the reading. Don't always do that, but I'm being guided to do it. So one final message for everyone for this week for love. And I feel it's this one. And we have Father, Husband, Brother, Son. So we have the masculine energy coming in here is important. So we started with the feminine and we're ending with the masculine. And they're both looking off into the future. They're not looking at each other, but they're both looking at their future. For some reason here we see the direction is important. So definitely getting that as an ending message. So they're both presented in this reading, the masculine and the feminine, and looking out to the future. They're both preparing for and working towards bringing healing and balance to the future as well. So this full moon this week is going to be very important for those energies for both, for moving into the future in a better and healthier, more healed way. Angel blessings, oceans of love.